Hey, welcome back to Bike Safety. Really glad you're still with us. Okay, let's check out what we're going to learn about safety checks. We're going to talk about bicycle safety check. We're going to learn our ABCs. So, air, brakes, bars, chain, and seat. We got some videos here to help you out with that.
What are you going to do to get started? Well, you better go back to your ABCs. No, I don't mean go back to school. A is air, B is brakes, C is chain. Let's look at the air first. Oh, 2 thumbs. If I can move it in, it's too soft. It's almost too soft. Let's look at the back wheel. I can't budge it. It's okay. Brakes. If I can stop it, it's okay. Yep. Try the back one. Yep. It works. Chain. If I can run the chain backwards, get it back, and not pull it off the socket, seats. And remember, I said ABCs. Seats. Yep, it's stuck. It's not going to move.
All right. Now, let's see. Let's say your bicycle is needing repair. Here is a place that actually will teach you how to do it. And they have tools for you. So take down this number and this website. Okay. And also, if you bring your bike to our ride, we can help you repair it. Okay? Now there's a whole lot of things having to do with bicycles because they're pretty complex. We're going to look at them, and not everything is something that you can fix on the spot. But we're going to look at these things here. Bicycle maintenance check sheet. Okay, so for instance, air is our letter A. Are the tires free of bulges, cuts, and worn spots? Are the tires firm? Is the tread good? Okay, now if you want to learn a little bit more about tires, we're going to teach you right now. So here's how to fix a flat. Take one side of the tire off of the rim with the tire irons, not the whole tire off. By the way, there's going to be a video, so don't panic here. Take the tube from between the tire and rim and pull the tube out, starting with the side opposite the air valve. Pull the tube out. To replace the tube on the rim, first put the valve stem into the valve hole. Work from the side where the tire is off the rim. Push the tube in between the rim and tire, making sure it is not twisted. Put the tire back on the rim over the tube and pump up the tube. Normally a cyclist would have to put the wheel back onto the bike. Okay, so there's 2 kinds of filling ports. They're called valve stems. And there's the Schrader valve and the Presta valve. Okay, so different wheels and tires have different, actually tubes have different valves. Okay, but I'm gonna show you a video just to show you that it is possible to change a tire.
So today we have a bicycle that has a flat tire. Those are terrible. So you can see this tire is totally flat. The first thing we do when we have a bicycle with a flat tire is we need to determine how big the tire is. And on this tire, it says right there, it says 26 x 2.1. You see that? So that means we need to find a tube that's that size. And fortunately for us, we have that tube. And this tube is size 26 by 1.9 to 235. And it has a Schrader valve, which is good because our bike also has a Schrader valve, and this is what a Schrader valve looks like. It looks like a normal automotive tire valve. The Presta type are nice and skinny. This one is your normal size. So we have the tube. All right, let's get to changing. There are two different types of way a wheel can be attached to a bicycle. One uses a wrench like this to loosen the bolts. Another one uses a different method. This method uses a quick release, and you lift up on this and the wheel can come loose. As you can see, it's now loose. You have one or the other type. To take off a quick release, you need to hold one side with this hand and turn the other side loose a few turns. This allows this to open up enough to where it can get past your wheel. This one has a disc brake, which is really easy. Other brakes are cable brakes towards the middle. To release those, you grab this and grab the noodle and you pull it and they open up. Next, you're going to need some tire levers. I like the blue ones. They allow you to pull the tire off the rim. For example, I can grab the tire here and turn it and clip the little thing onto the spoke, and now it stays out. At this point, you just pull the tire off the rim. With the inner tube fill point on the other side, reach in with your hand and grab the tube and pull the tube out. Next, we need to take the tube out and partially inflate it. You'll probably need to pull the little cap off. Save this because they're very handy. And you push the air chuck, the right type air chuck, onto it and pull the lever up. That makes an airtight seal. And just put enough air in there until it fills up to its shape, but not tight. Just about like that. Next, we're going to feel around the inside of the tire to see if there's any nails or something. Be careful because you could hurt yourself. Don't just slide your hand really fast around there. I don't feel anything. Likely what happens on these is the thing that made a hole in it flew away. Okay, we're good. Next, we need to put the fill point through this hole here. This is where it normally goes. So I'm going to bring this up here, and I got the little valve here, and I'm going to put it through the hole. To do that, I pull the tire back and shove it in, and pull the tire over it, like that. And now we're just pushing the inner tube into the tire. Now the next part, but you're going to use a lot of strength here. We're going to pull the tire over without using any tools. That way you can't hurt it. So I'm pulling the tire back over the rim. Sometimes this is super hard, sometimes it's easy like this. Now with it sitting on the ground, we're going to fill it up in case it pops off the rim or does something. So we're going to use the right side again. I usually grip it right here to make sure it doesn't push too far into the rim. And then I pull up the seal, and it says on the tire what pressure you should go to, and it'll say something PSI max. So in this case, it's 65 pounds. So first thing we do is pump it up until the tire looks like it's on the rim. And we're going to look at it. Looks good. Looks good. Now we're going to go up to the full pressure. That was around 10 pounds. Next, we're going to put the tire back onto the rim. In a disc brake application, it just fits in. Now we are going to tighten the front. The first thing we do is we tighten down until it just starts to rub, just a little bit. And then we're going to push this down really hard. Make sure it doesn't rub on anything. You're all done. Now for a bicycle that has a derailleur like this one, it's a little different when you're putting the rear wheel back on. So the first thing you need to do is with the sprocket on this side, you lower it on, you pull the to where it's supposed to go, and then you pull this all the way back. And you push this down while it's back. Once it's on a little bit, then you can shove it in. Get the time approximately where it should be. Now you tighten this up with the bolts all the way back, as far as they'll go. You just use your little wrench, the one you use to take it off. I like to get them a little close before I start tightening things. With one kind of snug, I shift to the other one. Give it tight. You get pretty tight on these things. Don't want to break anything, but 5 pounds of sugar type of tight. And that's how you do that.
All right. I hope that makes it possible for you to get out on the road.
So today we have a bicycle that has a flat tire.
Let's look at brakes. Letter B. Do the brakes have at least 1 finger's width between the lever and the handlebar when engaged? In other words, when you squeeze the brakes, do you pinch your fingers? You don't want that to happen. Do the coaster brakes effectively stop the rear wheel? Do the brakes stop the wheels from turning? So, a little secret here. If your brakes don't work, don't ride the bike. And unfortunately, it's pretty difficult to fix your own brakes. It's kind of an art form, apparently. That's what our volunteer said. So, you're going to have to take them, if they don't work at all, you're going to have to take them down to get them repaired. That's the sad truth. Okay. Chain. Is the chain complete in good working order? Is the chain clean and lubricated? Does the chain have proper tension? It should fit snugly with no more than 1/2 inch play. Alright, so we're just going to show you again a little bit how to check your chain like our volunteer did earlier. So if you pedal forward like I did with tilting the bike onto the kickstand, then that also works for bikes that have a coaster brake, the what kind that you pedal backwards and it brakes. So, all right, so let's talk about seat. Is the seat secure? Very important. Can you move it by banging on it? Okay, so you definitely need to have your seat secured, and that's probably something that you can fix. You use either a wrench or there's possibly a quick release on it, and you saw how to do that with the wheels. Okay.
It is essential that the cyclist wear a properly fitting bicycle, no? It is important to have at least 2 to 3 inches between the top tube of the bicycle and the top of the inseam here. The seat should be adjusted so that when your foot is resting on the pedal at the bottom of a pedal stroke, your knee should be slightly bent. When sit, be able to reach the ground with the tips of your toes. The handlebars should be about 1 to 2 inches higher than the seat so that you bend over a little while riding. C'est magnifique!
Okay, so I want to show you a still photo here of a properly adjusted seat. And the reason why we set our seats so high with your tippy toes touching the ground is because when you're riding long distance, you want to be able to stretch your legs all the way out and not ride with your legs cramped, all curled up and cramped. That way it gives you a lot more ability to go distances when your legs get all stretched out like that. And that's why we learn how to ride this is a touring position. So that means that you can ride long distances when you have your seat at this height. Now, this also explains why you have to learn how to scoot on a bike, because getting off of your bike is not as simple as putting your feet down while you're sitting on your seat, as you can see. So that's why we learn how to scoot, so that you can dismount your seat and stand on the ground. Alright, so fantastic. We're going to see you on the next one. We're getting closer and closer to finishing and getting excited about being able to ride. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.